Hi everyone and welcome to DIY Ideas. Today I'm going to show you how you can make your own beautiful back cutout for a t-shirt. And the cool thing is, apart from the top here, the top line, here you can also adjust the width with a simple knot. So let's get started. So this is all we're going to need for today. So first of all, some fabric scissors as always, then something to measure with, measuring tape, pins, some thread for your sewing machine, so in my case it matches the color of the fabric, then some fabric chalk for marking where we need to cut and where we want to cut. You can also use a regular pencil if you have lighter fabric, and then of course the t-shirt. So here I have an old t-shirt that I kind of want to upcycle and make something new out of it. You can use pretty much anything that you want to upcycle and kind of refresh that already fits you. So you can also take some bias tape if you'd like, but this is an optional step. So let's get started. So in order to have a perfect cut, what we need is a couple of marks. So here we have basically the middle of the t-shirt, and you see I already marked it with my fabric chalk. So I basically started from the one stitch and went all the way to the other, and then divided in half and got the middle. So you see here I ironed over this just to make sure everything is nice and straight and exactly the way it should be. So yeah, we need the middle, and that's our first mark that we're gonna need. The fabric chalk is definitely something I recommend because you can wash it out and it doesn't leave any marks later. Okay, so now here we have the middle, and now from that middle we want to go all the way to the top section where your neck goes. And you see here I have a wooden ruler, but pretty much anything works, anything you want, have, and are used to. So yeah, we're gonna start here from the bottom and just align this to the middle. And then what we want to do is just kind of have this little corner of the neck section on the other side of our measuring tape or ruler or whatever you have. So try to align it like that, and then again mark along that line with your fabric chalk. Now that I did this on the other side too, what I want to do is put it the other way around so that I can cut it better. So we're going to take this middle section and basically align it that way. So this way you just see the one line, and the other one you actually didn't even have to do at all. So either way, it's a super simple trick that can save you time and make sure that it's all symmetrical and nice. So what you want to make sure is that you align all of your stitches that you have and the marks as well. So the middle mark that you did on top and bottom. And yeah, then we're ready to cut. Now I pinned everything together to keep it in place, and now I can get to the cutting. So I'm just gonna follow this white line that I have here, and I'm also gonna cut all the way to the bottom because that's where our knot is gonna go. Okay, so now that we're done with our cutting, we can start with the first side of our back section. So we're just going to do a simple seam on here just so everything stays in place, doesn't fray and stretch out and do weird things. So what you could do is just fold this over a little bit and then basically do a regular straight stitch or even two across from there. But instead of that, what I'm going to do is just fold it once and then fold it once again. This way it's going to be even more secure on here, and it's not going to bug you from the inside when you wear it, so you're not going to have any open edges there. And this way I think it keeps shape a lot better. Optionally, you can use bias tape for this, and then also just basically do it on the inside and outside like this, and just sew a regular straight stitch across there to keep it in place. I think I don't need anything like that this time. I'm gonna keep it all black, but it is an option if you'd like to try it out. So anyway, I'm gonna fold it twice over and then I'm gonna do a regular straight stitch. Also make sure that you don't have too many layers of fabric here on top, so I just kind of separated them when I folded. That way I'm gonna have a really nice and neat edge and not really a bulge or anything weird going on. So yeah, as I said, we're gonna fold it over twice, we're gonna pin everything to keep it in place, and then we're gonna do that basically throughout the entire thing, so from top all the way to the bottom, and then we're gonna do a straight stitch across here, or you can even do it from the inside. It doesn't really matter this way. You can do two as well if you'd like, but that's an extra step that you don't have to do. Okay, so both edges are now done, and here we have a really nice and subtle seam. So you see on the outside what it looks like, and then on the inside, hopefully you can see it with the black fabric, I have a really neat edge, and then on the inside there's nothing weird going on, nothing that's gonna itch or do anything weird. So it's a perfect and really simple way to have a really nice seam that works both from the outside and the inside. So here, as I said, you can do an extra stitch if you'd like to keep it extra flat, but that's an optional thing that you don't have to do if you don't think you need to. So, since this t-shirt is gonna pretty much slide off of my shoulders because the cutout is so big, I decided to do a little band that connects the top sides, so the left and the right, the top sections. So basically what I did is took this little section that I cut out of and I made a little band that's a little bit longer than the width of the top section. So I basically measured the width here from the one end to the other where the band is going to go, and then I did a couple centimeters more. In my case, this is 20 centimeters of length, just so I have enough for the stitches and everything. But yeah, that should be enough. Also a cool tip, sew just one side on and then put it on, or try it on and try out how long you actually need it to be, because you might want to have it a little bit longer or a little bit shorter than initially planned. So let me show you how you can do this. So you're going to need just the fabric that you cut out and some pins. And we're going to pin this to keep everything in place. So as I said, my length is about 20 centimeters, I think maybe a bit more, but this completely depends on the size of your t-shirt and your size. And then also the width can be wider or narrower, whichever way you prefer. So we're basically gonna do pretty side on pretty side, fold in half like this, and then we're gonna pin everything and just go along this open side with the sewing machine and do a regular straight stitch to keep it all in place. And then we're gonna turn it inside out later, and then we're gonna do another extra stitch to keep it flat and not really like a tunnel, but rather like a little band. Yeah. But another cool trick is that you can basically take an old tank top and just take this section, the strap of it, and just use that in your project. So now that we're done with the strap, I'm gonna call it, we can now put it onto our main piece or our t-shirt. So as I said, I'm gonna do just the one side. So you see here, before we get to that, you see here how nice this looks. So you probably can't see the stitch at all because the thread matches the color of the fabric, which is exactly what I wanted. So it looks neat, it's really easy. I just turned it inside out and you can't see any rough edges, any fraying, anything weird going on. So now what we wanna do is basically take this and put it onto the t-shirt. So we're gonna put it on the inside. And I'm gonna follow the edge where I cut off. So that's exactly the spot that I'm gonna use, but of course you can do it lower or I don't think you can do it higher. That's the highest point, but you can do it lower if you'd prefer. I just think this looks nicer. So anyway, when I'm satisfied with the position where it is, I'm gonna pin it so that it stays in place. And then I'm gonna do a little stitch there a couple of times there and back to keep it in place and make sure it doesn't rip or do anything weird. And now as far as the stitch goes, we're basically going to continue onto the stitch we already did on the main piece. So it's not going to look weird, it's going to look just like a continuation of the stitch that we already have. And it's going to absolutely do the trick, so it's going to really stay there where it's supposed to. So yeah, you're just going to do that, and as I said, I like to go over it a couple of times there and back, so just like securing any other stitch, that way I know it's going to stay there and it's not going to rip or do anything else that I don't want it to. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So here you can see my back strap now, and you can see here what it looks like. So it's on the top, it looks like a part of the t-shirt, it doesn't look weird or anything, which is exactly what we wanted. And this is something we achieved thanks to the stitch that we did that basically continued onto the stitch that we already had on the t-shirt. So that way we don't have two stitches going on, instead we have just one, and you see that it looks really, really nice this way. And as far as the length goes, in my case, it was in the end 22 centimeters that I needed when I tried it on and just took a look how it fits and what I wanted. So just make sure you do that as well. Then here on the bottom, I just did a regular double knot, and this way everything stays in place and looks great, looks super summerly, and yeah, it's just a perfectly light and awesome summer t-shirt. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to shoot a thumbs up and subscribe. You can click on the notification bell, and I'll see you in our next video.